Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Obsidian Mortgage Affiliate Branch Program. Now, this program is a very unique program in the fact that it is a one-time fee to do as many loans as you want. Okay, so with that being said, on this program and pretty much as a whole, we don't offer leads, we don't offer health care, and then we don't offer salaries. So if you're looking for one of those things to kind of blend into this, we can't provide that for you. So just to get that started, we want to go through that. All right, so let us get started with this program. Now, what we'll cover today is who we are, the partnership, meaning how a little bit of details about the program, the opportunities in the program, how the program works, and then the next steps, which you have to do to get started. So with that being said, let us get started. Obsidian Financial Service. We are a full service lender, which means we are a fully delegated lender. We were founded in 2016. However, we didn't go live until 2018. We are probably one of the fastest growing hybrid lenders in the country. We're dedicating our workforce in 2000. We've been dedicating it in 2023, and we're going in 2024. We're located in Melbourne, Florida, and we're licensed in 32 states. We are HUD approved as well. So again, we are a fully delegated lender. So we can do HUD, we can do everything, DPAs, you name it. So with this program, we are going to give you the ability to close as many loans as you need to in a month and pay a flat fee of $2,500. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, here's what we offer. Now, this is very important. We'll go into a little bit here. What we offer is options. And options in the mortgage industry in today's environment is so important. And the reason it's so important is because you've got to be able to put a loan wherever you feel like you need to put it. For example, if you price out a loan today, and let's say you look at the pricing, and that pricing is 20 bips better on the broker side, then why would you broker it? I mean, 20 bips on 800,000 is $1,600. Multiply that times 10 deals, that's 16,000. Over a year, that's 160,000. So you tell me what's better. The lenders always want to say, oh, it's better to go this way. And then the brokers always want to say, well, it's better to go that way. And I'm going to tell you, it's better both ways. You don't have to go one way or the other with us. You have the option, and that's what you need. You need options. And working for just a delegated lender doesn't give you those options. Or if they do, they take half of the comp plan. If you work for a broker and you're doing a per file thing, well, what happens if you need to get out of that comp plan on a $100,000 deal or DPA and you're only making 2.75? And then you've got to pay your loan officer. Now you can make 3.5 and then pay your loan officer 2.75. So now you have options, and that's the good thing. So with that, you have over 100 investors that work with us. A good amount on the non-del side, a good amount on the broker side, and then a few on the delegated side. And we're going to show you who those investors are because we are in full transparency, full disclosure. We don't fool around. We let you lend or we broker, your choice. That's how it works. We consider you a partner, not an employee. So remember that. So we offer raw pricing on our non-del products and on our mini core. So if you want to purchase advice for one of those products, we'll give it to you. If you understand what you're looking at, we'll show you. So that's one of the things. We're not going to hold back on you when it comes to that. All right, loan programs. We have every scenario out there. I mean, we do. There's no way around it. We have the lowest rates. And how do we offer the lowest rates? By giving you options. That's how we do it. Flexibility and of course an appetite for speed. So with flexibility, obviously you're going into the broker world. Speed, delegating, close a loan in 7 days. And I kid you not. All right. And then we obviously lend in our own money based on that we are a delegated lender. Again, a partnership. We want to give our partners the ability to broker or work as a lender. Nobody in the industry is letting you do that. They seem to want to force one way or force the other on you. We're not like that. We want you to have both. If you've been working as a broker for the last 2 or 3 years, it's time to step up your game a little bit and understand what the delegated channel is about. And without going in and just 100% throwing away all your money and saying, God, I can't go delegated on all my files, but I want to start taking the time to learn this. And this is the great opportunity in which you're going to get to do that. Our platform is so unique. Nobody is doing it. That's why you're not a loan officer or a branch manager. You're a partner. You're partnering with someone that creates a bond. And that's what we do with everybody. You're going to know the president down to me, down to everybody. You'll speak to everybody. We have teams. There's no hiding in this company. So that's just how it works. And we're all adults, whether you're 25, 35, 55, 65, we're all adults. And we expect everybody to act as one. Because look, with this program, we give you a lot of freedom. That is also, options aren't just it. Freedom is it as well. So, we started this 6 months ago. We've got almost 20 partners that are doing this. And I can tell you what, none of them have had anything negative to say. I've got guys that strictly broker. I've got guys that strictly do non-del and del. And then I've got guys that just do del. So it is all over the place with everybody. But the delegated sometimes has to accommodate the pricing and they'll go non-del, but you hardly ever stand broker. But in retrospect, what you're looking at is more or less a buffet. Okay, so if you're in the mood to eat a little bit of everything, then this is what we've got. We've got everything here. When you come in for a buffet, they generally get you when you come in the door. You pay your 25 or 35 bucks, whatever you're paying. You walk in and there's this beautiful buffet of food, and you get to eat what you want and what you like. And this is what this program is set up like, where you just pay a single fee a month of $2,500. Okay, now the question is, what does the $2,500 get you? That's always the question. So what it gets you is all 3 channels when you look at it, right? So you get to do an unlimited amount of loans. Again, I've got people that are brokering, anywhere from 5 to 15 loans a month. I've only got one guy that's just using the non-del channel religiously, but we're starting to see another group that's kind of figuring it out. And that's the key here, figuring it out. You're not being forced to figure anything out, because I'm going to tell you, and I think most of us understand that, forcing somebody to learn something is never good. All right, you can originate in 32 states. You're going to have a checking account set up with you and Obsidian, so that when those funds come in, let's say you're brokering, so when those checks come in, they're going to go in your account. We don't even really look at we don't monitor your account until it's time to pay the $2,500. Okay, so what you've got coming in and out, it doesn't concern us. So if you're doing non-del and you're charging points on the front, so let's say you had 2 points on the front and the loan just closed, and so we net funds, so those 2 points will be there. So what'll happen is you'll have that money wired, those funds wired to your account. Now, let's say you had lender compensation on it as well, because you're not brokering. Now you're going non-del or del. And so you've got compensation on the back. And let's say you've got 1 or 2 points on the back. Then once the loan is sold, you'll get paid on that. That will come directly to your account once the loan's sold. Loans on the non-del side are sold within 3 to 5 days, on the delegated 2 to 3 weeks. Anybody will tell you that's the industry standard. Now, within your bank account, some states will be W-2, North Carolina, I know that. Kentucky, I know that. So some other states, but what you'll do is you'll W-2 yourself $500. You'll have to pay the FICA on that, and then pay out the rest. You can do technically as a bonus. You can do that, and you'll 1099 yourself on that. All right, then you have the ability to set up as DBAs and trade lines, so or trade names. So you have that ability as well. So if you've been working forever, you had a company, I don't know, maybe you folded it or lost it, but you're well known in the community as ABC Mortgage, and you've got to keep that name, not a problem. Okay. All right. So how does it work? So again, if you're brokering and you're making that 2.75, again, I've got a guy that does nothing but I-10 loans. Does anywhere from, at least I've seen from him is 7. The most I've seen is like 19. So he just puts all that money in and money in, and sends the money out. And he makes the full 275. There's no this chart stuff over here and junior, associate, senior, blah, blah, blah. No. Throw that out the window. That's old news. That's yesterday. You're coming to somebody that you're partnering with now. That's not going to pop you for every time on every file. You get to keep your money. You'll forget you're working for anybody. So anyway, with that being said, what we're going to do now is we're going to go into what the options entail. Okay, so when you're looking at options here, you're really dealing with 3 at heart. You're dealing with the delegated channel, you're dealing with the mini core non-delegated channel, and you're dealing with the wholesale channel. Okay, I know everybody knows the wholesale channel for sure. Now, some of you, not so much with the delegated channel. Now, the way the delegated channel works is this, is we do everything on the file. Let's say you're a processor, you have a processor, and you're allowed a processor, and you're allowed a third party. The only thing that we won't allow them to do in the beginning is non-delegated and delegated. That we will do through time. But your processor can act as an LOA, where you can charge the borrower a fee still. So that's a good thing. Now, on the broker side, you don't have to send anything to us but a closed package, and boom, that's it. That's all we need from you. So if you've got a processor that's working the wholesale side, don't worry about that. You can keep on with your keeping on. That's fine. It's only when you get into the non-del and the delegated, the mini core as well. You can process your own stuff through mini core because that's just like brokering. But again, when you're delegated, we are going to you're going to upload the file to us. You're going to actually input the file, or your borrower will, through Lending Pad, on their credit. Then what'll happen is we'll disclose, we'll process with the help of your LOA, we'll underwrite, we'll send out the CD, and then we'll close. And we can do all this in 7 to 10 days. So that's how quick it is. Now, what's the downside to this program? The downside to this program is not getting paid on your lender compensation for 2 to 3 weeks. So if you only have lender compensation on it, it's going to be rough. But if you're charging both borrower and lender compensation, then you're in good shape. So let's go ahead and price out a loan real quick. All right, this is called Mortec. We did have Optimal Blue at one time, but they got too crazy on their pricing and had to say bye-bye to that. So let's price out a loan at $500,000. And we're going to do a 90% LTV. I'm going to do it in, let's do my state of Florida. And we're going to do Broward County. And we're going to do a 780 FICO score. And I'm going to start out real quick, and I'm going to try par. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. with that. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now Flagstar. Flagstar is one of our delegated lenders that will allow you to broker to them. They won't allow you to do non-del or mini-core, but they will allow you to broker them. Most lenders in here are delegated. For instance, Flagstar is delegated, PHH, Planet's delegated, Rocket is mini-core, Freedom is mini-core, Next Bank is non-delegated, Lakeview is delegated, and Village Capital is delegated. Mr. Cooper and New Res are also delegated. Now, you won't be able to broker or non-del to those people, except for Flagstar. You do have the ability to broker. So let's take a look here real quick at Flagstar. Flagstar right now is at par as 7 and an 8. Okay, so that means you would have to charge lender compensation. So you would charge her 1 or 2 points, whatever you wanted to charge on the front, you'd make an 1/8 on the back. So that's how that would work. So let's go here and let's see if we can get a 2-point lender compensation. So at a lender 2-point compensation, you are looking at the same lender at 2.875 and you're making 2.039. So now, if you wanted to, you could charge the borrower on the front as well as the back. Because we are a lender and you're going through us, you have that ability to do that. So I've got here is I've got a CD real quick, and this is what you're going to want to do. This loan amount is a $200,000 loan amount. Okay. And so you're saying to yourself, all right, I'm not going to make much money on this. 2.75 isn't very good. So as you see here, the loan officer charged $15.65 up front. If you notice here on the CD, for all you brokers out there, you do not see anything in the line going back and forth because we do not disclose the lender paid compensation. That's how it works in the lender world. You don't disclose that. Okay. Now, we do charge $14.95 as an underwriting fee for all the files on the non-del, mini-core, and delegated. Not on the wholesale, obviously, because now instead of doing fees in, this is technically fees out. So that's how that works, so that you can do that. All right, you have that ability now. And when I show you pricing in a minute on the non-del, you will see that it's about an 1/8 or 1/4 to the rate. And you can bet on $500,000, an 1/8 is a big deal. And I'd pay the $14.95. I'd pay the underwriting fee just to get a better rate. Okay. But again, you're seeing here that the individual charged 3/4 of a point. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look at the lock, and I'm going to see on the lock that they made almost 2 points. They made 1.969. So if you look at that there, that's 2.79. So they made 2.79 on this file. They got paid immediately on the 1,500, and then they had to wait probably 2 weeks, maybe 3, to get the 1.9 on the back. And that is how your delegated works. So let's take a look at another one, and let's do an FHA. Now you're going to see tiers in here. When you've gotten pricing from us, you are seeing tiers in here. Those are going to be for your loan officers, and they'll be set up so that that's the way it works. Tier 1's got 25, Tier 2's got 50. So if you want to make 25 bips off your person, 50 bips, boom. That's how you're going to work it. So let's try 450,000. We're going to do an LTV of 96.5. And we're going to do a 680 credit score. And we are going to do par first. And par, we're looking at 6.5 is paying back 1/4 point. So if you go down to 6.4, it's costing you. So right now at 6.5, you're making a little less than 1/4 point on the back with Village Capital. Now, with Village Capital, there are no overlays on government loans. So I don't care if you submit a loan to Rocket and they say, okay, well, the employment history doesn't work for us, and everybody says that, you can convert it to us and we can get it done on Village Capital. So these are part of your options. Okay, you go and you send a file on the wholesale side to Rocket. Rocket took 3 weeks to underwrite it, turn it down finally. Now you're up against the wall on your closing date. Now you got a parachute. Here is your parachute. And trust me, people use this chute all the time. It is all the time. So again, you're always going to look at your pricing. So we'll go and take a look at pricing here in a minute on the non-del and the wholesale, and we'll compare it. And you'll say to yourself, you know what? I've got to send it this way. I've got no choice. All right, so let's take a look at 2.75. All right. Okay, so looks like Planet seems to be coming in best with that. So at 2.75 or 2.8, this is your lender comp right here. Now, for all you people who are used to brokering and don't really understand what I'm talking about right now, because it can get very confusing, think of it like this, that on each loan, you can set up your own lender compensation, okay? So now that's what you're doing here. So you're setting up your own compensation here. So let's say that you are the actual manager. You want your 50 bips, right? So you're going to go to 103.25. This is what you're going to make here. Oh, so your loan officer is going to quote 8.25, and you're going to make a little over 50 bips in this. You might even be nice and say, hey, I'm going to give you an 8th back. So he might make a little more than 2.75. So everybody's happy. So this is how the delegated lending works. Again, some of our non-delegated lenders are popping up on here. Not sure why, but you got the premise of how this works. So let's get back to our webinar here. Okay, so that's generally how the delegated process works. You will feel it. Everybody eventually hits it, without a doubt. So moving on, next is called the mini correspondent or mini core / non-del. What's the difference? Mini core, if you submit it to Rocket, you submit it to Freedom, submit it to AFR, a lot of these lenders, they will do the initial disclosures, they will do the processing, underwriting, CD, closing. All we do is fund it. And you might say to yourself, well, what is the upside to me going mini core as opposed to broker? Comp plan. Now you can get out of the comp plan because you're closing in Obsidian's name. You're out of the comp plan. So let's take a look at this real quick. All right, so let's do a conventional. Let's price it out the way we would do it. So it's 500,000 and we did 90%. We did, I'm sorry, yeah, 90% FICO 780. We did Broward County. Okay, and so now we're going to come over here. This is where it gets a little tricky. So since you are going mini core or non-del, that's what we're working on now. What you're going to do is you're not going to go lender paid when you price this out. And the reason why is because you don't want that 2.75 margin figuring in to your pricing. And remember, we are charging the underwriting fee, so you do not go fees in. So on this, you're going to go borrower paid compensation or mini core, and we're going to look at par right now. So par, the mega capital is 7.2. So if I'm right, I was really close. So you would say to yourself, okay, if I'm mini core, do I go this way or do I go delegated? And honestly, you're probably going to want to go delegated. If you have the ability to wait on your money, if you gotta have that money, then no, don't do it. Okay, but as you can see with this loan here, par is 6.99 or a little above. It would say that you would give a lender credit, but because you're on the line, you do not have to give this money up. That $1,000 will come back to you. So let's say you're going to do lender paid on this, charge 1.5. And now you're going, instead of before going broker, you're not giving this up. That you do not have to give up anymore. That's done. So that's the upside here of having to do that. So what you might do is say to yourself, okay, well, I'm going to go lender pay. So you're going to take a look here and you're going to say to yourself, okay, where can I make 2 points? Looks like 7.855 with Mega Capital, but I don't trust this. So let me modify my search. Come over here and do 102. Sorry about that. Buttons here. I'm going to go 102 because I'm going to look to make 2 points on lender compensation. All right, I'm going to still click on the borrower compensation. And the reason why is this, because you don't want the 2.75 factor to figure in. I'm going to keep the fees out. I click on this. And look at there, kind lending is better than Mega Capital. All right, and not by much. Only, I mean, really, it's the rate wise, it's the same, but you're making a little bit more money on the back. And that's why I tell everybody, go price it out and make sure. Just because par rate shows Mega doesn't mean that 102 is not going to make you more money. So over here, you're going to make another $100. It's still $100. And kind lending might be easier than Mega Capital to get it through. But again, you might be looking at saying, hey, I might go delegated. So you just, again, your choice, your file, your idea. Now, what you want to look at here is, let's modify it again and do fees in. Wow, that's a whole 8. Do you see that? If you click on that fees in, you just turned around and you've made it an 8 difference. All right, now we're at a little over $1,000 going bye-bye. Why? Because it just took their fee out, and then Mega Capital came back into play because kind lending is probably charging a lot more of an underwriting fee. So so if you understand what I'm talking about, you do. If you don't, you're probably lost right now. But as you can see, there's an 1/8 in the difference, and if I'm the borrower, I will spend $1,400, $1,495 to get an 1/8 lower, because it's probably $100 lower in payment, maybe even 120. All right, so let's take a look at another one here. So let's go FHA, the 450. CV here, 96.5. Okay, and we're going to go 680 credit score. And we're going to stick with the location. Let's go par pricing first so that we can look at this. Again, we're going to go borrower pay because we want to see, we do not want the lender comp factoring into this. Okay, 6.375. So I don't quite remember what ours was, but again, that's something that you're going to have to work with. Do I have it still pulled up here? I think I do. Let's take a look real quick to see where we are on pricing, just so we can look at this on the par level. Apples to apples, right? As the old saying goes. So we're at 6.5. So it looks like we are yeah, I mean, that's an 1/8, and that, again, that's an 1/8 to the borrower. If it doesn't matter, if, this $1,100 means nothing to you and you like delegated, go. That's okay. We're fine with that. We have no problem with that. We are not forcing you to hand over your files on a delegated channel. We're not doing it. Okay, so now you're looking at Rocket here now. So Rocket is paying the best, or as close as the par at 3.75, where you're making almost 9 bips. Okay, so it's something. That lender fee over here, this $1,100 is now not going to the borrower. It's coming to you. Now you would obviously charge 2 points or 3 points on the front to make your money, but this is where you are. Okay, so let's modify the search again and let's go lender pay. So now we're going to go 2.75. Comfortable doing 2.75 here. And we are at 7.25. Okay, now what's good about this? This is with equity prime, and at equity prime, you in your broker world, you would make 2.75 and give them a lender credit of 11.95. But in your non-delegated mini core world, you're keeping that money. You can bet you are going to keep that $1,100. Why? Because the borrower doesn't even see it. As I showed you on the previous HUD, or I'm sorry, that shows the old school. On the previous CD, borrower does not see your lender compensation. So that's why you go mini core or non-del as opposed to the wholesale. That is the upside. There is a huge upside for you. And then if you wanted, look, I have people that might charge $1,500 flat fee on the front, just so that they can make sure they get paid right away. And then they know that when the loan's purchased within 3 to 5 days, that their 2.85 is going to come back to them, that their $12,000, 1216, or actually it's going to be a little more. It's going to be $13,700 as opposed to $12,000. Sorry, $13,700 sounds better than $12,600. Just does. Feels better. That's why I'm telling you, mini core might be the way you want to go. Don't run from it. Don't be afraid of something you don't know. We're here to help you. We will help you through this. Okay? So, and remember, let me ask you this, and ask yourself this. Is it worth it to wait 3 to 5 days for another $1,200? And if you've got 4 files, that's $6,000. You ask yourself that. That's the question that needs to be answered, and only you can answer that. So, okay, now that we have a really good understanding of the mini core non-del channel, let's move on to our most favorite and ever popular wholesale. Okay, now wholesale. Now, remember guys, in these channels, in the wholesale channel, mini core, non-del, you are 100% responsible for your locks. All right, with the investor. I'm not going to have you call up and say, oh, my lock, blah, 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 blah. That's your problem. For adults, remember, you're only paying $2,500 a month. That's it. Well, there is the $295 QCP I need to talk about, but I'm going to kick that in here in a minute. But again, for the most part, you're paying $2,500 a month. So now you've got to think about, is that $1,190 worth it? Ask yourself. So remember, you are locking loans, you are submitting to the investor, you are having them underwrite, close, fund, get the money at the title company, get the file, upload the file, shred the file, and put the money in your bank account. Done. Okay. So you will be doing all that. All right. So everybody understands the wholesale side. I don't have to explain much to you. I'll go through the pricing real quick. I'm sorry, I'm on the delegated side. To the wholesale side, I am going to run a quick scenario for you because I know you guys know this thing. I'm going to do an FHA. I'm going to do a 450 purchase amount. 6.5. We're going to do a FICO score of 680. And we're going to stick with Broward 2. And we are going to come over here and we are going to go fees in, lender pay. Boom. You don't have to adjust the pricing or anything. They're just going to come over here and snip this. And bam, there's your 2.75. Okay, so now everybody sees what's going on here. And I'm going to wave down a little bit so you can see some of our investors. Things like that. I'll show you the investors here in 1 second. There's a lot of investors that aren't on here because we don't close enough with them. So that's a key factor. And within the list, we can tell you who is mini core, who is non-del, and then who is wholesale. Now, real quick to break away a little bit. Again, I have to reiterate that non-del and delegated is processed in-house. Has to be, and you want it to be. Until your processor is up to speed. You can have your processor as an LLA on the file and get paid on the file. However, this is how it has to be till then. But mini core and broker have at it. You can't mess it up. So you can't break something you don't have to worry about. So here you go. Your 2.75 is how it all works out in the margin in here. The check, you'll close the file. It'll come directly to you. The law states, as this is, you can only make your 2.75 and that's it. And in this case, even less. So again, being mini core is such a way to go. It's not even funny. In fact, some of our most popular people out there in the world and the universe are now starting to try to do mini core because the light bulbs hit them. That's kind of where we are. So now you guys understand all three channels. You've got a really good perspective of how each channel works. So with that said, okay, again, you're going to keep 100%, pay a flat $2,500 and a third-party QC fee of $295 per file. Okay, so that's it. That's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with all these files. So again, you're not going to get whacked with any other fees or any other. Well, you have again. Well, you have a $75 fee a month for your landing pad per seat, but no, and no other fees on the per file. It's $295, $2,500 a month. So again, you have the ability to go out and grab that $1,100 if you go non-Dell or mini core, and you pay your $295 real easy. So you think about it. Okay, our products. Now, before I get into our products, let me go in here real quick, and I'm going to show you the lender list. So starting from the top, you might want to take your time here and slow the video down. And this will give you a good idea who's non-Dell, Dell, all this kind of stuff, and see what's going on. Now, if there's an individual that is not on our sheet, we are more than happy to get them signed up on the sheet. So heads up there. Now, products, conventional, FHA, DPAs, 203, high balance, jumbos. I got a couple jumbos sitting on there over 2.5 million now. Manufactured homes, yeah, the first 21st mortgage. That you have to broker. Doctor loans, lot loans, reverse. Oh, reverse. Real quick, just to break in. If you are in the reverse industry, you are going to definitely go mini core, FPAR, AIG, all those lenders, SunWest, they're all signed up non-delegated. So they cannot, we can send those files. They can go in, and if you're making 6 or 8 points on the back, then boom, that's exactly how this will work for your reverse mortgages. You're definitely, if you're in the reverse side and you're brokering, you're on a suicide watch because you do not want to be disclosing what you're making. I don't care. Everybody's like, well, I tell my borrowers, okay, well, I don't know how you're going to get around that, making that $30,000 per file. If you're doing it more than, praise you. You're a way better person than me, because I'll tell you what, I'm a loan officer too. So I understand your plight. That's why this is set up for loan officers and branch managers that do volume. I want to keep my money. I'm tired of getting whacked for 20, 30, 40 bips a file. Forget that crap. You need to keep your money. And that's what this program is going to do. So with that being said, again, moving down, we do DSCRs, I-10, STACA, hard money, bank statements, you name it. Oh, and we're non-delegated on the HELOCs and seconds. You can make 5 points now. Yay! No more spring EQ. Bye-bye. Now you can really make some money. We're signed up with Vista. You can make up to 5 points on that now. Yay! So the affiliate branch facts. So let me go through this again so that you're aware. It's not on here, but remember, you have the $295 fee involved per file, whether it's broker, whether it's non-del, not on the delegated, because we do our own quality control. We have to send it out to a third party, and heads up, they might come back and ask for stuff because there's a good chance that will happen. We make sure the files are QC. So we all want to stay in business. You want to stay in business. We have 14 people under this program right now. Not one is left, and we have, I think, another 4 or 5 signing up today. So understand that this is a very unique program and nobody else is doing it. We're the only company out here charging a flat fee to do as many loans as you want. That's it. So again, the closing fees will come directly to your account. You can use a trade name or a DBA. You keep 100% of the comp plans and fees collected. For all pricing for mini cord non-del. Reverses as well. If you need a purchase advice and you understand what you're looking at, I will give that to you. No problem. Branch is responsible for collecting all fees, such as credit reports, appraisals, to pull the 4506Ts, things like that. Your borrower is going to go into lending pad, and when they set their account up, they'll pull their credit, and anytime you need to order something, you'll have a signed copy of their charges so that you can go ahead and pull that from the borrower. Please, I beg you to let your borrowers know when you're going to use their credit card. Don't surprise them with the 4506T. They will rebuke the charge. I see it all the time. Stay on top of that. Don't just use their credit card like you're at Kingston or at Disney World. So please be responsible. I beg you. All right, you have the ability to hire other LOs, recruiters, and support staff. So you can start your own little world here. Some of these guys don't even realize they're working for Obsidian. Until the 2500 comes. And the way that works is the day you sign, like all the people that are signing today, their anniversary is going to be the 13th. So on the 13th, we will say, hey, we're going to pull 2500 from your account. Please have it available. Now, if you don't have it available and you say, okay, we have, a loan closing, I'm getting the files in, I'll be able to pay for the 10 files and the closing, fine, you have 10 days. I'll give you a grace period of 10 days. So you have 10 days to get that. After that, I'm going to start charging you, $150 a day. So keep that in mind. I'm not a bank. We're here, we're not charging much. You need to be considerate of us on the $2,500. If you feel that you're not equipped to handle that, then do the per file. We only charge $12.95 or 10%. So, don't put yourself in a predicament you can't handle, please, because you're going to be stuck into it for 90 days. So that's how it works. It takes 90 days for us to allow you to come out of that. All right. So you the ability to originate in all 32 states with another 10 coming on. $75 a month for your lending pad, Teams, Zillow, Marksman, and Surefire. Now, Surefire is a separate fee. So if you're used to using a CRM like Bonzo, some of the other ones, it will integrate with lending pad. You're good to go. So that's not a problem. So just a heads up, your files are your files. And so we do not, we entice you to sign up with a CMR. And the reason why is because if you're going to be doing this, for the rest of your life, you need your customers in there. I mean, my customers from 10, 15 years ago still get emails. So you're going to want to do that. So these are yours. We're not, if you by chance you do leave, we are not going to be calling your customers. We don't do that. In fact, it's your responsibility to call your customers. I'm not giving out the list of loans that we've done to anybody for them to start calling on. We don't do that. That's not how we work. So with that being said, you got that fee monthly. So make sure that your credit card works, please. I know these are tough times. I get it, but try to keep up with that. And if you want to make 300 bips, we all understand that. Okay, transition desk. So if you want to do another loan in another state, Alabama, where else, we'll allow you to work. We'll get you set up with the loan officer for that state. You use transition desk, they'll use $595. You make all the compensation. Lending pad is our LOS system. So it is cloud-based. Believe it or not, it is actually easier to use than Calyx and better than Encompass. You can actually do everything in there. If you use one or two different title companies, I would definitely tell you to put them in the lending pad, because now you can order title through it. You can order appraisals through it. You can order credit through it. You order everything. You will be pricing out through it. So if your customer hits the apply button now below your link, they're going to go in and then they're going to actually put in all the information and pull their credit. So you're good to go. But remember, please, I beg you, if you got to pull a 4506T, let them know. More Tech, we went through this. More Tech, Marksman is owned by Zillow. If you have a Zillow account, you're going to get a discount now. So if you're running Zillow leads, guess what? You're going to get a 10% discount now. Surefire, we have an agreement with Surefire. If you want to set up with them as your CRM, if you're new to, if you've only been doing this for a year or two and you don't have a CRM, I highly advise you to do this. 100%. This is a killer program. The intranet. Now, you will have access to the intranet. What is that? That is everything that we have at Obsidian. Now, we're going to assign you an Obsidian email. If you do a trade name or you do a DBA or something, and you're obviously not going to want to use that. You're going to need to forward your email, but whenever you use things like this or Teams, as you can see in Teams, we ain't hiding. You can't hide from anybody in here. So no matter what, you can find the underwriter. You just type in Holly. And there's your underwriter. Okay, so you can see all this going on no matter what. Set your meetings in here. Do whatever you need to do in Teams. Okay, so but you're going to have to do it from your Obsidian email. Now, the intranet. So let's log in here real quick. Generally, it would ask for my email, but since I was in it last night, it did. So in here, you can do everything. So you look here and you see lending pad training. So you need to get a little help from the lending pad and you need to learn how it works. So all the videos in here, I advise you to definitely watch this so that you can learn how to order an appraisal if you need to, if you want to pull credit, things like that. If you're processing your own loans and it's wholesale, you're going to want to do this. You're going to be able to price out in wholesale as well. Okay, so that's one of the things. You order business cards through here, marketing products, things of that nature, everything. So it will tell you training on social media, things like that. So it's a very good site. So we put a lot of work into it and it's really well. So what's next is you're assigned a regional manager. Now, if you're brokering most of your loans, you might not feel the need to have one, but that regional manager is assigned to you and they will reach out to you. Please respond to them. Do not ignore them. All right. I know you might not need one and I get it. Just say, hey, I'm brokering right now. It's okay. I'm good. So, but they're there for you. They might need to get you logins. So they will be your contact for logins for the investors and things like that. So what have we learned so far? And the most important thing in this industry, everybody, not getting paid, but options so that you can get paid. If I polled everybody in the room, you would say getting paid, at least 8 out of 10. But here's the thing, that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for options so you can get paid. Not just get paid, but get paid more. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm setting this up. Well, Obsidian is setting this up, not for ourselves, but to help you. We are looking to empower you, to make you stronger, a better LO, learn more, observe more, make your customers a better deal, make more money for yourself, give yourself options. Don't just put yourself in a box. It's not worth it. No, it's not. A box is no good. It's socialism. Stay away. You want options. This is where you are. So again, you're assigned a regional manager. You're onboarded. Like I said, we've gotten 4 contracts back today. We got a busy day in front of us because we're going to be onboarding a bunch of people. However, I did have to get this done so that we could have other people that are wanting to, well, join. And hopefully you're one of those people that's watching this video and has enjoyed or at least gotten something out of this webinar. I pray that you did and that you saw something in it. So if you are looking to join or to seek more information, reach out at 321-468-3492. Visit the website, hit the careers page, or hit employment at Obsidian Mortgage, and we will handle everything for you. A recruiter will reach out within 24 to 36 hours so that we can get you set up. They will get you all the lender lists, logins, everything you saw, copy of the contract, everything you could see, and I hope you enjoyed this video today. I thank you, and I really hope and praise to God that you do join us. And if you don't, I still wish you luck out there either way. And thanks for listening to me. Have a good day.